Project Blue Beam, a script for the scene. Fear on the screen, a will-you machine. They fake disguise to control your dreams. Open your eyes.
What's the deal, YouTube? You already know it's your boy Capo back with another one. You know the team, you know the dream, and it is still Good Ear Stream, people. As you can see, this is the first episode of Look Up. Open your eyes. It is not what it seems. And I got my special guest with me, Chosen, man. Chosen, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm just, recuperating and relaxing over here, you know what I'm saying, in the cuddleophagus. I've had a strange life, and I'm glad I can get on your show, man, and share this, man, because a lot of people don't believe me when I tell them.
Okay. And for you not to be disclosing your location, man, where you at right now? Don't give us too much. What city you located in?
You know,
Today we're gonna dive into all the latest UFO trends, stories, and everything under the sun, over the sun, and beneath the earth. So we want to dive in it real quick. As you can see, it's a lot going on in the world. They have been disclosing a lot of material. And my boy Chosen got a unique story. So Chosen, are we gonna dive right into it? We got this video clip. From Chosen. This is exclusive of an object in the air. And I'm gonna let him describe it. Man.
Following me. I was just getting out of a mental institution because of this thing. It was following me. And so I had a witness, and I said, "Do you want to see it disappear?" And this would happen.
So you guys
following me
right there.
There it is.
That's it. I tried to focus in on it, and every time I try to focus in on it, this is what happens, man. First the light dims, then gone, bro.
It was gone. Yeah, that's crazy.
And I got pictures. Yeah, I got pictures of it right outside the building right here, man. Everywhere I go, man, it's there.
That's deep. That's deep. So obviously you must believe in things that's not in this world. So what's your take on the UFO conspiracy? Is it a conspiracy or is it real life?
Well, I mean, believe it or not, man, I've been in communication with some otherworldly beings called the Pleiadians. They're called the Pleiadians, the Pleiadian Council.
Okay.
Sometimes you can see the videos of their material on YouTube. Even they're changing the world right now. And what I was running from, once I started following it, it led me. And I've been on a spiritual journey ever since then. So I follow it now. I don't run from it. I follow it. And my life is changing. My spiritual growth is exponential. My intelligence is on point. I got mental clarity. I'm no longer locked in the system. I remember things people don't. When the reality changes, it seems like it's not affecting me. And one more thing. Sometimes they tell me things that are going to happen before they happen. I've even with you, me and you have personal experiences with these things. And I know you thought I was crazy, but some of the things I was telling you that was coming to the world, you see they happening right now.
Yes, most definitely. So how many years ago was this when this encounter happened?
Let me see. It's been about 4 years since I looked up and noticed it. The thing is, I didn't look up. I was always on my phone, on these girls and, money, shopping, stuff like that. But I started listening to a video and it was about some beings that was here before a long time ago. One of them name is Inkel. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know what I'm talking about. They come from the Bible, and it's a whole different story about creation. We were evidently here, and we were not as evolved or advanced. And when they came for gold, and they were mining it. And the beings there to be them being advanced and everything. Well, while they were mining the gold, they got tired of it. Like, man, we ain't doing this labor, So they looked around and seen us, and they genetically altered us, and made our hands able to use equipment and things that they had. Humanity has been advanced in this way, and those individuals that in that first race that they genetically altered were melanated, and so that's the reason why our DNA contains things that others don't. We have the original Yahweh gene in our genetic code. And this is scientifically proven. You can look it up. I'm not babbling nonsense. Since we were altered, we now carry some of their genes because just like the Bible says, let them make them in our image, not my image.
Yeah.
There was more than one of them. And so when they altered us, they ended up having to use some of their own DNA in us. And I just feel, our connection to the cosmos is there. I think there's one of these objects for everyone if they would just look up.
Look up. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. You can even ask the AI about black skin, and it will tell you stories of the cosmos.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question. When you saw it firstly, whatever it was, did you feel like it was a threat, a message, or a mistake when you first saw it? What did you initially feel?
It's hard to explain. It was a real crazy time for me. It was a very big death in the family of a child, and I was going through some things. I was going through some things. I just picked up the swords and immediately knew what to do with them. The 2 swords that I ordered. I was just trying to get my mind off of things, and just these natural abilities just started happening, and it was weird for me, coming from the streets, and I did raise children a lot and try to be a family man, but once that death happened, I went into like a crazy state, man. I couldn't understand why that could happen to a child, but at the same time, I started watching the videos about Inkel and these other beings who came a long time ago. I just put the video on, and as I was watching it, I looked out my door and I noticed a star there that I've never seen before. It was like low enough where I could see it while I was at the computer at the table. I just looked out and seen a light. I'm like, what is that? I stepped outside and I observed it. I'm like, I never seen that in the sky. I'm always outside there and I never seen it. And next thing you know, I was playing a video and I happened to close the door because it was getting cold, and it moved over to where I could still see it. And I figure, hey, man, I'm losing my mind here. Let me just not even worry about it. So I went to the back to smoke a cigarette. I just smoked my cigarettes in the backyard. And when I went to the back, it was there. And so I have pictures of it in the back, in the front. I have pictures of it in the daytime. And I don't know, I just started getting fascinated with it. And for 4 years now, it's taken me on a journey. I've been to the mountain. I've actually walked on a mountain almost right next to it, and it was just sitting there in the sky. And cars just going by, not even, I'm like, these people don't see this? Mm-hmm. I was on foot, and I was going on a camping trip just to, get away from things. And I saw it, and I just started going towards it, but I couldn't get there because of the way the mountain and the roads were. I would have had to go, down into a ravine, and then I would have been lowered in it. So at the highest point I can get, I looked at it, and it was just an orb. It was a circle, and it was glowing. And so I seen it up close for once. I went back to my campsite. I was really tired, man. I had been hiking for miles trying to get close to it. And I was by a Presbyterian church up on a hill in Arrowhead. And I went back to my campsite, and it was like right over there. Like it's always moving, like, and I thought that maybe I was losing my mind. So that video that you see, that footage of the video that I gave you so far, I was getting out of a mental institution. I thought I was crazy, man. And when I got out, I was about to get on the bus and go home. And this Hispanic gentleman was sitting on the bus, and I was looking at it, and I did feel a little fear then, but originally I felt awe. I felt the presence. I can't explain like the exact feeling of it, but I felt not by myself. It wasn't fear or nothing like that.
Okay, before that moment, did you believe in extraterrestrial life? Before that moment, did you believe in UFOs? What was your take on UFOs before that moment?
I mean, I always believe, the status quo, what's crazy and what's real and what's not. And, the news was always saying back then, UFOs is a hoax. It's a hoax. Somebody using a drone and this. So I thought maybe it was a drone, but as you see on the footage, I don't know what kind of drone just got a light that turns on and off like that. And then if you were to play the video further.
Yeah, we're going to play the video further. We're going to dive right back into the video. But
because it disappears. Yeah, go ahead.
We're going to dive back into the video, but I want to get you a few questions, but we're going to dive back into the video right now.
The motherfucker disappeared.
Yeah. The object disappears, and then it blinks
Thick
back.
ass fucking light right there. Now it's gone. Look. Told y'all that motherfucker be falling.
I was in a bad way, man.
And there's no there.
Right back up. And then I'm filming.
Look.
He's doing it again.
That shit been following me for weeks, bro. Motherfuckers telling me I'm crazy. It's two of them. And watch it come right back. On my mama, watch.
So, man, as you can hear, man, Capo, I was in a bad way, man. And I couldn't believe that I actually could capture it doing that type of activity, because usually it's just there. And sometimes when I follow it, I followed it into the wash over by my house. And I followed it, and it was just started moving, man, like moving away from me. But it didn't feel like away. It felt like more like a come here type of movement, like come on. And so so I had my sword on me, and I felt like I was crazy. I had my sword on me that I had learned how to use just off of I don't know what. And I got to the wash, and I seen a friend of mine, he was really bad on drugs. And he said, man, don't go in that wash, man. Bad things happen in that wash, And so I just went on in there. I said, don't worry about it. I'm good because, I had the sword. So I went on in there, and it was strange. I went in there, and I wasn't alone there. I felt it. I wasn't.
Okay.
I could see things out the corner of my eyes, but when I turned, I couldn't see it. But I knew it was still there, like following me. It was at least like 4 of them, I'm gonna send you another video too of a doorway in the sky that opens. It looks like a doorway, literally.
Okay. Most definitely. Well, send that to me. I got one more question before we play the video over. If the government asks you to stay silent about this, would you obey or would you speak louder?
They'll probably find me in the cornfield somewhere, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna shut up about it, man, because this is my life. This is my experience. I'm not gonna not live my life for nobody, you know. And the crazy thing is, I uploaded this video to YouTube a while back, and actually, it had no views, and I wondered why. You know, it was back before the disclosures and military personnel coming forward and all that. But I'm glad you gave me a media, man, to share my story, man, because people have been thinking I'm crazy for a long time.
It's a story. It's a story. So we're gonna dive back into the video footage because y'all see it, people. Y'all see it. I want to know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and you hit that notification bell because we will be diving into more of this type of content on my channel. But we're gonna dive into this footage once again so y'all can see it for your own eyes. All you have to do, like he said, is look up. Open your eyes.
It's following me. Dude,
look at it. It's right there. I know that's some shit. Look, this is like pulsating, huh?
There it is.
Sometimes too, when it would come, I would feel like a pressure on my head, like weird, man, like an elevated state.
Fuck?
I was really scared of it, man. Now, as you see, when it comes back, it's going to be in a whole different position from where it originally was.
Now it just disappeared. The motherfucker disappeared.
Now you don't see a tree in that frame where it was
Big ass
right?
fucking light right there. Now it's gone. Look.
When it comes back.
Told y'all that motherfucker be falling.
Right. Now you see that it's closer to the tree. The bus pulled up. Look at the tree. You see that?
Look.
Yeah.
It had moved.
That shit been following me for weeks, bro. Motherfuckers telling me I'm crazy. It's 2 of them. And watch it come right back. On my mama, watch. Everybody has one assigned to them. If you pay attention.
Yeah, that is some wild footage. That is some wild footage right there. I mean,
man, it's taking me back to the moment, man. It was a crazy time for me, man, mentally, to accept what was happening to me and why it was me. Why are you following me? Like, just imagine you go in the grocery store and some weird eek-beak looking dude is just following you while you're getting your greens and cornbread. It's like,
yeah.
Why are you following me? Like, what you want with me? And I don't know. I always felt a connection. I always have this feeling that I'm meant for something greater, or that there's more to the story with me, or people like me. I always think, even like the devil, he doesn't attack the weak; he attacks the strong, right?
Yeah.
So
yes.
So I'm like, why would this happen to me? And I'm in that weakened state of grief and all that. That's because I had a weakness at the time, right? If it was that thing. But the fact that it's outside right now, over my head where I'm at right now, I can go outside right now and it's there. I got pictures, but I have those photos already. Okay. I also got pictures of SpaceX over my house. And as soon as I got to LA, I got it going over the building when I was there. I saw it. I saw just a glowing object of the SpaceX thing going by. Now, they said it was a missile. That's what they said. Oh, it's a missile. Or it's a shuttle, whatever they said. Man, it was a glowing orb. I didn't get to film that. But the trail behind it, like, it spins around in a circle. Like, just imagine something coming down and it's spinning around in a circle, and one end of the cylindrical object has smoke or whatever coming out of it. That's what it actually looked like.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that too. I got footage of that too. I actually have footage of that And we're gonna do that on the next episode. When you get back on with me, we're gonna bring that footage up. But we want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Good Earth Stream, Stay Fresh 365. We're gonna do a quick sponsor break, and we're gonna dive into some more topics, some more wider known UFO topics. I'm gonna have my boy, give me some insight of what he thinks about some of this. But let's dive into the sponsor real quick. Wanna be. Stay Fresh 365. Stay Fresh 365. We will be coming out with new merch. We will be coming out with new merch very, very soon, people. We will be coming out with new merch very soon. Freedom Home Team, you know the dream, you know the team. It is still Good Ear Stream. It is still Good Ear Stream, people. So we're gonna dive into some more topics real quick before I let my host go. We're gonna do another 25 minutes with y'all, just diving into some more topical UFO topics. So let's dive into the first one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Earth is being visited by non-human intelligences. That's the claim of infamous whistleblower David Grush. After a congressional hearing has left the nation and the world at large divided on the issue of UFOs, the topic has received more attention than ever, and disturbingly, a growing number of politicians and academics are calling for greater scrutiny of this strange phenomenon. These are the most credible UFO sightings in history so far. 1952, Operation Mainbrace. UFO concerns in America in the post-war period finally reached the United Kingdom in 1950, with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill asking his air minister for a briefing on the topic of flying saucers. He was assured that there was nothing to worry about, and there was no credible evidence that these apparent alien craft were anything more than misidentification, hoaxes, or natural phenomenon. 2 years later, the British Ministry of Defense was forced to take back that statement. In 1952, NATO launched Exercise Mainbrace, a simulated invasion of Western Europe by the Soviet Union. What happened next would prompt Captain Edward Ruppelt, head of the U.S. Air Force Project Blue Book, to comment that this incident finally prompted the RAF to officially recognize the UFO phenomenon, and recognize it they did, with the feverish investigation in the wake of the Mainbrace incidents prompting the CIA's Assistant Director of Scientific Intelligence, Dr. H. Marshall Chadwell, to write a classified memo titled British Activity in the Field of UFOs. In fall of 1952, 80,000 NATO personnel took part in a massive 12-day military exercise in waters off the coast of Norway and Denmark. The navies of the United States and the United Kingdom made up the bulk of the international coalition's power, and the exercise was meant as both a show of force to act as a deterrent to the Soviet Union and as a way to practice a response to an invasion of Western Europe by the Soviets. It was the biggest display of naval power in the region since World War I, and all personnel were on the lookout for Soviet surveillance aircraft and ships. But something else decided to come and check the exercise out. It all began on September 13th, when the crew on the Danish destroyer Villamos witnessed a strange triangular-shaped object moving at high speeds across the sky. It seemed to glow with a strange bluish light and was witnessed by the destroyer's captain, who estimated it to be moving at supersonic speeds. A week later, as the exercise progressed, the UFOs returned. On September 19th, a British Meteor fighter jet was returning to its airfield at Topcliffe, Yorkshire, at just prior to 11 a.m. In what would become known within British intelligence as the Yorkshire Incident, a group of senior British military leaders were gathered as the meteor came in for a landing. Suddenly, the men on the ground spotted a silvery disc-like metallic object following the meteor while moving back and forth as it did, swaying like a pendulum. The meteor canceled its landing and began to circle, trying to get a closer look at the object. On the ground, the British officers witnessed the object come to a complete standstill and hover silently, rotating slowly on its axis. When the meteor got too close, the disc suddenly shot off westward at incredible speed, making an abrupt course change and disappearing in the southeastern horizon. Dr. Chadwell would write a CIA memo on the incident, remarking how the object was seen by many high-ranking officials from the Royal Air Force, as well as civilian onlookers, prompting a newspaper to report on the incident, much to the dismay of the RAF. On September 20th, the crew aboard the USS Franklin D. Roosevelt aircraft carrier spotted a silvery spherical object that seemed to be following the fleet. The object was photographed by reporter Wallace Litwin, who
sphere?
took color photographs which were promptly seized by Navy intelligence. The photos were never made public, but Project Blue Book's chief, Captain Ruppold, would...
All right, so what do you think about Project Blue Book? You know, I got a song called Project Blue Beam that's trending right now on YouTube, man. So everybody make sure you go support and you like that and you share it because that is vital knowledge. But what you think about Project?
I've looked it up. The original story about Project Blue Book and how secretive it was. At the same time that they knew that these unidentified flying objects were real, they were telling the public at large that they didn't exist. I guess they felt we were not ready to receive such knowledge as, hey, there's things in the sky, when people were already having experience at the time. Several instances of gentlemen on lonely roads, mostly guys coming home from work or, you know, wherever they was doing in these wooded area roads, getting kidnapped and probed in different areas and orifices. And it's been going on for a while. What I do know for sure is that there was an expedition to the Antarctica by the Army. And there was a high-ranking official flying in an airplane, and 2 UFOs got on the side of him. They took control of his airplane and took him to a place in Antarctica that had trees and grass, and it was just like a normal place where vegetation grew, and there was a civilization there, evidently. And they took this Army personnel into the earth, where they gave him a warning, and they told him to take the warning back and let your people know. Well, this gentleman who did that, they ended up having him committed like he was crazy and swept it all under the rug. But it's also available on YouTube if you'd like to look it up. I do like YouTube because it's one of the few forums and platforms that are telling things that you usually wouldn't hear. You know, a lot of things that are coming out right now. I know a lot of our people is not gonna, you know, believe it, because I mean, once you tell a person over and over again a certain thing, they begin to adopt it as their own. You know, just like our hatred for each other. And when the truth is always something else. I mean, once somebody keep lying to you, you know, about every single thing, you got to know that probably every single thing is a lie, you know?
Yes. Yeah, you see that right there. You see that was the glitch in the matrix right there, man. They tried to glitch me out, man. You seen it?
Yeah, I see.
Tried to
they
glitch
tried
me
to
out.
erase you for the matrix.
First episode, people. First episode. They already tried to shut us down, man. First episode. This is crazy.
And also
so
that
orb, back into it.
The orb object. I have pictures of the same object I took pictures of the video of that I uploaded you. I have pictures of it in the daytime, and it is an orb.
Yes.
I'll be sending you that tomorrow. It's an orb.
Most definitely send that in.
That the photos were of excellent quality and clearly showed the object moving rapidly as it approached the fleet. Suspicions that the object was an errant weather balloon were dispelled in the post-incident investigation, with no ship having launched one that day. Later that evening, at Karup Field in Denmark, Danish Air Force officers spotted a shiny metallic disc flying overhead at about 7:30 p.m. The object appeared to be coming from the direction of the fleet out at sea and quickly disappeared into the clouds in the east. On September 21st, Royal Air Force pilots were returning to base and observed a shiny sphere approaching from the direction of the fleet at sea. The 6 aircraft immediately vectored in on the sphere and gave pursuit, with the sphere eluding them and disappearing. As the aircraft returned to base, one of the pilots looked behind them and spotted the sphere following closely behind. He immediately turned to give chase again, but the sphere turned as well and quickly accelerated out of sight. The main
Now, why
brace
would they
sightings were
chase
never
something that's
explained
outmaneuvering
and
them like
couldn't be
that?
chalked up to visual anomalies or weather events, as they were verified by personnel across the NATO alliance. The incident shook the British intelligence services to the core, scaring them enough to reopen an investigation into the UFO phenomenon. A month later, though, another incident much closer to
Look how
home
they
would
looking.
rattle the UK military. On October 21st, 1952, Flight Lieutenant Michael Swinney, a pilot instructor, was taking his new student, Royal Navy Lieutenant David Crofts, up for a training flight. The jet took off without incident and headed up into a thick cloud bank. As the jet punched through the clouds at an elevation of 15,000 feet, the men got the fright of their lives. Directly ahead of them were three nearly white circular objects. Two were on a level keel with the third slightly on its side. Swinney's first instinct was to grab control of the jet and
So as you
And
can see,
what?
it's a
And
lot of
chase it?
misdirection. They
What they
chasing it
gonna do?
now, right?
Chase it?
Yeah. It's a lot of misdirection going on.
Yeah, yeah.
One day they said it was this, one day they said it was that. They got pilots who've been flying. Obviously, they've been flying for years to be a pilot, and they know
Right.
every aircraft, helicopter, weather balloon, anything that's in the air that's supposed to be in the air,
Yeah.
they know. So, what does that tell you if they have pilots saying this? What does that tell you, Chosen?
Well, that tells me that they're having a whole different experience than what I'm having, because it reminds me of the movie Apollo 18, and they took this device up there to find for Star Wars program to catch the missiles if the Russians shoot missiles over here on them, right?
Yes.
But one thing I learned about that movie is you better watch what you present to this universe, because they ended up trying to get some black matter, and the black matter attacked them. So the same way they out there with these maneuvers and these weapons of mass destruction, while they always looking for them, they driving them. But while they out there doing this, maybe they thought they was going to try to attack another nation. I mean, half of these things have been known to hover over their bases, over the silos of their missiles. I just feel like the law of return is faster now. Karma's faster now. You can see it on the internet. People do stuff, and it's like instant nowadays.
Instantly.
Instant. So while you're sitting here trying to control and wave missiles in people's faces, you got advanced beings out there playing with you, and you're gonna follow it. Now, we all know in these horror movies how their curiosity is. They go in the basement. Becky's missing. They go in the basement. Becky, where are you? And then what do they hear? I'm saying, what they hear?
Yeah.
And they go down there. Becky, stop playing. They got the flashlight, and then it goes out, and they hear, I got you now. Becky, stop playing around. And they go down there, and they get mutilated. Am I on?
Yeah.
And this is their own portrayal of their nature. I feel some things are better left alone, sometimes, but it depends on your intentions that you shoot out to this universe. If you intend to harm, you intend to kill in your heart, there's always a greater power than your missile that will come and check you. So their experience is different than mine. However, the sphere that they showed, I believe I have that. I also have pictures of the object at night with letters in it, and looking very luminous and see-through with letters in it. Almost like a light bulb, almost. And it has a J in it. It's a clear J. I would like to send that to you ASAP as soon as this is over. So when we come on tomorrow, we'll be ready and then load it up with some more visuals. Because people need to understand that some things that you see, your mind is programmed to make it okay in a way, so you can handle it. So some of these things people have probably already seen in the sky when we show it to them. They've probably seen it and said, "Oh, it's a weather balloon." Like, I mean, come on, they've been feeding weather balloon to us since way back in '73 or something when in Roswell. Now, put it this way: if it was a weather balloon that fell, why would the men in black be there to get a weather balloon? Come on, bro. I mean, You can't lie to the people and just make us think something and then bust out with the truth later on and then tell half of that truth. Just come clean with it. These things are not here to hurt us. So why are they chasing them and fighting them? There's a reason. And I think I know what it is.
I was muted. We're going to set up the next segment. We're going to take a 5-minute break to set up the next segment. We're going to talk about the most famous witnesses to ever see a UFO. Since I got an eyewitness in the building, we're going to dive into the top 10 most famous witnesses. And we'll be right back, people. We'll be right back.
I'm going to upload you another image, too.
And we're back, people. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. And I'm gonna keep it honest with you guys. This video, this picture you just sent me, gave me the chills, people. We have a clear picture of an unidentified flying object, people. Clear
Yeah.
as day. Clear as day. Just gave me the chills, people. I'm only gonna show you this one because we ain't gonna give you everything. Y'all gotta check us out on the next episode. We're gonna dive more into it. We're gonna dive more into it on the next episode. But yeah, we're gonna put this clip up because this is chilling right here, people. This is a chilling clip if I ever seen one. Are you ready, people? Chosen, are you ready?
I'm ready.
There we go, people. Come on, man. That's a UFO. That's a fucking UFO.
Now, I want you to notice that this is not the moon.
It's not a fucking moon. Look at it. You
This
can see
thing,
the
this object here, when I took the picture, it was floating maybe about I'd say almost a mile in the air from me, or a little bit to the right of where I was living at the time. And when I looked up, I thought it was a balloon. You know, I was like, but I felt watched. That's how every time this thing comes around, this object, I feel watched. Like, you know, you're sitting on the bus and then you just look over and you see that person that is boring into the side of your head. I get that feeling from it. And so I just looked up and to the right, and I saw it. And it was stationary, but it was kind of bobbing around, but not normal. It wasn't a normal movement to this object because it was diagonally, like in a diagonal from bottom right to top left type movement in a diagonal, but perceptibly, but not over pronounced. But you could tell it was moving. So I grabbed my camera on my phone. It was a government phone probably at the time, so forgive the imagery and the pixelation and all that. But I took pictures of it, and that's what it was, man. I got zoomed in close as I could because I wanted to make sure that it was clear that this is not the moon. And as you see, it's an orb, the same thing that they said they saw over there on those ships. However, this one, when I saw it, I felt peace. I felt the watching from it was like somebody was watching over me, not like they were there to make sure I wasn't doing bad things or they could possibly attack. I feel like a kinship to it now, which probably was the fear I felt in the beginning, because, you know, who connects themselves to something in the sky, right? So
yeah,
it was just a weird feeling and I couldn't process it. But I don't know if you can get any closer up on that. I maybe should have zoomed in a little bit more on that. But the other ones that you will see, they're especially the video, you're going to see that it's see-through at night. And it has letters in it.
But we're gonna bring that to them tomorrow. We're not gonna give them everything tonight. We want them to tune in tomorrow because we could dive them back in because this is the last 15 minutes of the show, and we're gonna dive into the top 10 witnesses ever of a UFO. Because I believe he should be in the top 15 now, but we're gonna dive into the top 10.
Right. I mean, you know, they hang with me, so you know. To be number one, actually, because, you know, they chill with me, you know.
These people did, and the world starts paying attention. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 famous UFO witnesses. For this list, we're looking at people who famously claimed to have witnessed UFOs or had interactions with extraterrestrials. We'll also be considering celebrities who, despite being already famous, nonetheless generated conversation with similar claims. Number 10, David Bowie. Before his passing in 2016, this musical icon left many marks on popular music and culture. He challenged both musical conventions and gender norms, and his willingness to speak his mind extended to extraterrestrials as well. Bowie often incorporated alien imagery into his lyrics and visual identity. He even played an alien in the 1976 film The Man Who Fell
I think
to
he
Earth.
was an alien.
You must believe in me.
Yeah, he was
Well,
an
as
alien.
it turns out, Bowie had first-hand experience with extraterrestrials dating back to his childhood. He even self-published a UFO-centric newsletter in his teens after reportedly seeing many alien ships in the sky.
Where I come from, there's a terrible drought.
In fact, he told author Timothy Green Beckley that they were so frequent, he and his friends, quote, could time them. Number 9, George Adamski. There are few figures more divisive from the early days of ufology than George Adamski. After establishing himself in the California occult scene in the 1930s, Adamski hit the big time after claiming to have seen a cigar-shaped ship in the sky in 1946. By 1949, he was being paid to lecture on UFOs as an expert, making many bold assertions, including the fact that all of the planets in our solar system were inhabited. In 1952, Adamski claimed to have met with a humanoid alien from Venus by the name of Orthon. His UFO photos are widely considered to be fake, and some people go so far as to blame him for discrediting the study of UFOs. Number 8, Ronald Leo Sprinkle. This American psychologist and UFO researcher credits a 1949 encounter with a UFO as the starting point of his fascination with extraterrestrials. Being a believer can often be a lonely experience, but he witnessed another UFO in 1956, this time in the company of his wife. A doctor of psychology, Sprinkle conducted research through interviews, observation, and hypnosis of people claiming to have been abducted or contacted by UFOs. For his part, Sprinkle put himself in the latter category. Over the course of his career, Sprinkle's most notable contributions included founding the annual Rocky Mountain UFO Conference and his role as a psychological consultant in the 1969 Condon Report into UFOs, funded by the U.S. Air Force. Number 7, the Reed brothers. Some people share a passion for UFOs with their spouse, others with their brother. As discussed in the documentary series Unsolved Mysteries, on September 1st, 1969, Berkshire County, Massachusetts was host to multiple eyewitness reports of a UFO. In the case of Tom and Matt Reed, as well as a few other local residents, the aliens did more than fly over. They took the Earthlings for a ride.
This light rose up maybe 2-3 stories, and it went actually further away from our vehicle over what's now a large cornfield.
The Reed brothers claim to have had an additional 4 such encounters, the last being in 2009.
Can say exactly where he was on the evening of September 1st, 1969.
And I was laying right where we're standing right here.
Thomas Reed, who's become something of a figurehead for the 1969 event, has gone on record criticizing the way that various programs have sensationalized his story, and personally doesn't like the word abduction to describe his encounters. Number 6, Whitley Strieber. In 1985, this American horror author was spending Boxing Day at his cabin in upstate New York with his wife and son. What was likely envisioned as a relaxing holiday retreat, however, turned into a nightmare when Strieber experienced what most people would agree sounds like an alien abduction.
If I was in my right mind, I would know that too.
He awoke utterly paralyzed and at the mercy of strange, inhuman beings who performed experiments on him.
I had enough. I give up. I want to go home.
Strieber, for his part, avoids labeling them aliens and instead calls them, quote, the visitors, given that they could have had alternate origins. Though skeptics have dismissed his experience as hypnagogia, hallucinations occurring in the state between wakefulness and sleep, the author claims that his book about the experience, Communion, is strictly nonfiction.
All right, so we're going to dive into it. Who is the most believable out of these guys right now to you, Chosen?
I mean, when you got dude with that Polaroid of it looking like it was made, you know what I'm saying, with a hat, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and then, you know, I realized that back then, you know, society was very follower society. Nobody was ashamed to follow anybody else. Hey, this guy says it. That's special. I want to say it too. Okay, I feel like people that say things like what David Bowie said, I could time them. Come on, there was cameras back then. They had money, you know, and the cameras back then were very nice too. The Canons and all that, you know. Yeah. I feel like sometimes, you know, people want to seek attention, you know, and I think some of them maybe one could be real. The guy at the cabin. There is something about being in the mountains that could possibly, that could possibly. But all the cornfield and the crop. You remember the crop circle craze? People figured out you could just make those and everything. I mean, I feel like something that could be unrefuted, and I'm not just talking about by science, but by common sense, is a possibility that it's okay and true, and it could have happened if you don't have the evidence. Because some people, I mean, you don't carry a camera everywhere you go, like today's society, But yeah, I mean, it's been happening since, before Roswell. Roswell wasn't the beginning. The American Indians have within their tribe a special detail of Indians who communicated with the sky people. There's a few tribes that have this. They even made a movie about it where the U.S. government was kidnapping all the shamans and trying to learn the shaman magic and everything. I'm not sure, on specifics or what's true, but I mean, most of the things that we hear that come from, indigenous people, we don't seem to be the ones that get up and just make up something,
Okay.
Yeah. So there's been contact. Even in Roswell, I heard that there was an American Indian tribal personnel who was going to go meet those aliens before they crashed and something happened. But that's just what I've heard, and you know what people say. It's speculation. Well, these stories are also speculation because where's the proof? So I just think when it comes socially to certain groups of people, they're faster to try to disprove it. But I guarantee you, David Bowie, nobody investigated that. Nobody confirmed that. You heard that. It was just like he said it and it's gold. Okay, now I got video of this stuff, and I guarantee you it's going to be experts coming on here. Oh, that's the corona of corona. That's J-Rock shooting a missile in the air. It's not, and I understand, but yet and still, my reality is real, and no scientist can speak it away.
So let's dive back into the video. The last 5.
They dragged me out in the middle of the night.
Number 5, Travis Walton. One of the most widely publicized abduction stories in UFO history. The disappearance and reappearance of Travis Walton still generates debate decades later. On November 5th, 1975, Walton, a forestry worker, was on site with his team in Arizona's Apache Sitgreaves National Forest. Driving with his team, which included 6 other men, Walton spotted a UFO, which, upon exiting the vehicle to investigate, shot a, quote, beam of light at him that knocked him out.
What the hell's he doing out there? Get back to the truck! The hell is that?
His co-workers apparently fled the scene, while Walton woke up aboard the craft, where he attempted to fight off the extraterrestrials before being rendered unconscious again.
Look how they're looking at him.
5 days after his disappearance, which had triggered a missing person investigation, Walton reappeared with an unbelievable story to tell. Many dismissed it as a hoax. Number 4, Billy Meyer. When people turn their alleged UFO encounters into a career, they're inviting a lot of scrutiny and skepticism. But that hasn't stopped this Swiss contactee from founding his own religion. In English, it roughly translates to the free community of interests for the border and spiritual sciences and ufological studies. Catchy. Meyer claims that his earliest alien encounter occurred when he was 5 years old. His extraterrestrial contact was a humanoid named Spot from a race called the Plejaren. Later, after Spot's death, Meyer claims that his earliest alien encounter occurred when he was 5 years old. His extraterrestrial contact was a humanoid named Spot from a race called the Plejaren. Later, after Spot's death, Meyer allegedly communicated with various other extraterrestrial beings, both male and female, including Spot's granddaughter. Meyer has produced various images and films to support his stories, most of which have been labeled as fake by both scientists and the ufology community.
Well,
Number
it was
3,
crazy.
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
In 1989,
Bob Lazar
Robert Scott
spoke
Lazar
gas
appeared on
tech
KLAS News
holograms
to
in the
drop some
cloud
alleged
stage
bombshells
event.
about UFOs.
Actually 9 flying saucers, flying discs.
I don't gotta watch this one. Bob Lazar is not fucking lying.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
Bob
about
Lazar
that.
ain't lying, man. Bob Lazar's talking.
No,
that
watch
shit.
it. Watch it, though. I want to see it.
That are out there of extraterrestrial origin, and they're being test flown and basically just analyzed.
Going by the name of Dennis and with his face obscured, Lazar told reporter George Knapp that he was employed at Area 51 in the, quote, S4 facility. His job, as he explained to Knapp, was to reverse engineer one of the 9 UFOs hidden in the secret mountain hangar.
I think that technology is going to fuse with us.
Yes.
And we're going to become...
It's already happening.
This naturally generated nationwide attention, and Lazar soon revealed himself to the public and became a UFO icon.
But it's a unique element. When it's exposed to radiation, it produces its own gravitational field, its own anti-gravitational field, and it's what's used to lift and propel the craft and create distortions around it.
The Air Force denies ever having hired him, however, and there's no record of him attending MIT or Caltech, where he claims to have completed master's degrees. Number 2, Barney and Betty Hill. As far as average citizens turned UFO celebrities go, it doesn't get any more high profile than this.
Since 1947, there have been hundreds of thousands of reports of UFOs, unidentified flying objects.
In 1961, the Hill story became the first widely publicized account of an alien abduction in American history. Skeptics have argued that it influenced countless similar stories reported in the years since. The couple was driving home through rural New Hampshire when what they believed to be a shooting star revealed itself to be a spacecraft. After what sounds like an altogether hair-raising encounter with the mysterious ship, the Hills came to their senses again 35 miles from where they'd started.
I saw the thing. I knew I saw the thing. But if my best friend told me he'd seen it, I'd say he was crazy.
Benny, there have been UFO sightings all over New Hampshire. Are you saying they're all nuts, all those people?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
An investigation followed, involving the National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena and numerous interviews and psychologists. Debate continues to this day.
I wanted to find out for myself if Betty and Barney had actually been abducted or if they had created and absorbed a fantasy that they retold through hypnosis.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Elvis Presley. The king is gone, but where to? Elvis Presley died at the age of 42 at his home in Memphis, Tennessee.
You can trust me. I won't say a thing to anybody about anything.
But the music icon's long-standing fascination with UFOs and extraterrestrials.
We're gonna cut that short, man. We're gonna cut that fucking
Yeah,
they for
man.
fucking Elvis Presley, man. So I believe Bob Lazar.
Yeah, but he knows too much.
He
I'm
knows
surprised
too
they ain't
much.
whack him.
Yeah.
You know, they like to sweep it under the rug, but I will say this. Barring him, I want you to notice the pattern of their interaction with these aliens or whatever they want to call them. They have a way different experience. I mean, they're taking them, examining them.
Yes.
And from my standpoint and my experience here in America with some of these individuals who look like the people being abducted, if you go by behavior pattern, aggressiveness, deceitfulness, dishonesty, and certain traits there, and I'm not saying all, but certain traits that were displayed back in these days, it was a really crazy time for ethnicities. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe, we should look at the fact that maybe they wanted to know what was wrong with them.
Hey,
you know,
there's something going on. We know that. So we're gonna wrap this up, man. I want to give a special shout out to Chosen for giving us his time. We did an hour with you guys. Make sure y'all tap in tomorrow because it's going down. And always remember, people, Look up and open your eyes.
Very seriously by the Pentagon and the intelligence community. And this morning, their new report revealing that these sightings.
Project Blue Beam, a script for the scene. Fear